The silent approach. The fleet emerged from quantum fold space like ghosts materializing from ancient myth. 17 vessels, scarred and weathered from 8 centuries of wandering, their hulls bearing the scorch marks of 1,000 battles fought in systems whose names had been forgotten by time. At the helm of the lead ship, the Cradle's Echo, stood Commander Arya Vex, her silver hair pulled back tight, her eyes fixed on the blue marble growing larger in the viewscreen. Earth. The word felt strange in her mouth. A relic. A prayer whispered by grandparents to children who would never see it. For 32 generations, humanity had been nomads among the stars, driven from their homeworld by forces they couldn't comprehend, fleeing through the void with nothing but determination and the fading memory of green forests and rolling oceans. "Commander," Lieutenant Kale's voice cut through the silence of the bridge, "long-range scans are complete. You need to see this." The holographic display flickered to life between them. Arya Krez's breath caught. Earth was occupied. Massive orbital platforms ringed the planet like a crown of thorns, hundreds of them, each bristling with weaponry that could crack moons. Energy signatures she didn't recognize pulsed across the networks, ship patterns that defied every tactical principle humanity had ever learned. And at the poles, 2 enormous constructs dwarfed anything in humanity's arsenal. Fortress stations that could house millions, their architecture alien and imposing. "Who are they?" Arya whispered. Kale's fingers danced across his console, cross-referencing historical databases. "Commander, we have a match. The Velcor Dominion, a predatory empire that began expanding approximately 300 years after our exodus. Intelligence suggests they've conquered 47 systems. They specialize in..." He paused, his face pale. "Resource extraction and species subjugation." Arya Krez felt ice in her veins. What have they done to Earth? The display zoomed in. Continents she'd only seen in ancient archives now bore geometric scars, massive strip mines carved into mountain ranges, entire forests replaced by industrial complexes. The Amazon basin, once called the planet's lungs, was now a grid of refineries. The Sahara, already a desert in human memory, had been transformed into a launch field, its surface covered in alien steel. But there was something else, something that made Arya lean forward. "Life signs," Kale reported, "scattered, minimal, but human." Silence crashed across the bridge like a physical force. "Survivors?" someone breathed. Arya's jaw tightened. In 8 centuries of wandering, humanity had encountered dozens of species, some friendly, most indifferent, a few openly hostile. They'd learned to survive in the cracks between empires, to trade knowledge for safe passage, to innovate faster than any species the galaxy had ever seen. They'd turned their exile into evolution, and now they'd come home to find it taken. "Status of the fleet?" Arya asked, her voice steady despite the storm inside her chest. "Weapons are operational," reported Tactical Officer Chen, a woman who'd lost her entire family to a pirate raid 6 years prior. "But Commander, their firepower..." She gestured at the holographic display. "A single one of those orbital platforms could destroy our entire fleet. We're outgunned 300 to 1. Arya knew the odds. She'd known them before they'd entered the system. The Velcor Dominion controlled resources humanity could only dream of. Entire worlds dedicated to war production, fleets that numbered in the thousands. But they'd made one critical mistake. They'd underestimated what 8 centuries of desperate survival could teach a species. "Begin stealth protocols," Arya commanded. "Route all power to the Wraith systems. I want us invisible." The Wraith systems, humanity's crowning achievement. Technology developed in the depths of interstellar void, where the only way to survive was to become unseen. It bent light and energy around the ships, rendering them ghosts in the quantum foam of space itself. Technology born from necessity, from fear, from the absolute refusal to die quietly. The fleet vanished from conventional sensors. "Commander," Kale said quietly, "even with stealth we can't fight them. Not directly." Arya turned to face her bridge crew. Each of them had been born on ships,
None had ever breathed unfiltered air. None had ever felt rain. But in their eyes, she saw something the Velcor could never understand. Hope forged in exile. Determination hammered across generations. The savage, beautiful refusal to surrender what is theirs by birth. "We're not going to fight them," Arya said, a dangerous smile touching her lips. "We're going to do what humanity does best." She pulled up a tactical display, fingers moving with practiced precision. "We're going to outsmart them, outmaneuver them. We're going to hit them where they're weakest and vanish before they know what happened. We're going to turn their strength into their weakness, their numbers into chaos." Arya looked at Earth, scarred, occupied, but still alive. "We've spent 8 centuries learning to survive against impossible odds. The Velcor think they own our home. They think possession makes it theirs." Her voice dropped to steel. "They're about to learn what it means to face humanity when we're fighting for the only thing that's ever truly mattered." The bridge fell silent. Then one by one, her crew stood at attention. "Begin reconnaissance. Find me their weaknesses. Find me our people. And prepare the fleet." The cradle's echo glided through the void, invisible and patient, like a predator studying prey. The war for Earth had begun, and the Velcor Dominion had no idea what was coming.
The first strike. Commander Arya Vex stood in the observation deck of the Cradle's Echo, watching Earth rotate slowly beneath the starfield. 72 hours had passed since their arrival. 72 hours of silent observation, of mapping patrol routes, of studying the enemy, and searching for the impossible. "We've located them," Lieutenant Kale announced, appearing at her side with a datapad that trembled slightly in his hands. "The human survivors." Arya's heart seized. "Where?" "Scattered across 14 locations, mostly underground. Hidden cities built in the ruins of our old world, beneath New York, under the Australian outback, in the Himalayan caves." Kale's voice cracked. "Commander, there are millions of them. They've been hiding for generations, surviving in the shadows while the Velcor strip mine the surface." Arya closed her eyes. Millions. Not thousands. Not a remnant clinging to existence, but entire populations who'd refused to abandon their world, who'd chosen resistance over escape. "They've been fighting," Kale continued. "Sabotage operations, infrastructure attacks, guerrilla warfare. The Velcor classify them as persistent vermin, but the survivors, they call themselves the Earthbound. They've been waiting, Commander, waiting for us to come back." A weight Arya hadn't known she carried lifted from her shoulders. "Contact them, encrypted quantum channels. Let them know the fleet has returned." Within an hour, a response arrived, not in words, but in coordinates. A meeting point, a test of trust. Arya took a small team down in a stealth shuttle, threading through orbital defenses like a needle through fabric. They landed in what the old maps called Montana, in a valley that had been forest once and was now a graveyard of stumps and industrial debris. The contact met them at midnight. A woman in her 50s, face weathered, but eyes bright as fusion cores. Behind her stood 20 others, armed with weapons that looked jury-rigged but deadly. "I'm Captain Alina Reyes, 3rd generation Earthbound. My grandmother saw your ships leave." She studied Arya with an intensity that felt like judgment. "We thought you'd forgotten us." "Never," Arya replied. "We couldn't come back until we were strong enough, until we could fight." Alina laughed, a sound without humor. "Fight? You've seen their fleets, their weapons. We've been fighting for 8 centuries and barely slowed them down." "Because you've been fighting their kind of war," Arya said quietly. We're going to teach them to fight ours. She opened a holographic display between them, showing the Velcor orbital network. Your sabotage operations, brilliant, but localized. What if we coordinated? Your people know this planet's geography, its hidden places. You've survived by being invisible. We've survived by being unpredictable. Arya's fingers moved across the display, highlighting 3 massive Velcor processing centers. These are their primary processing centers, where they refine Earth's resources before shipping them off-world. They're heavily defended, but the Velcor are arrogant. They've been here long enough to feel untouchable. We're going to hit all 3 simultaneously. Not to destroy them, not yet, but to make them afraid. Alina studied the plan, her expression unreadable. You want to launch a coordinated strike against 3 fortified positions with 17 ships and guerrilla forces? That's not bravery, Commander. That's suicide. It's a message, Arya countered. The Velcor see Earth as conquered, pacified. We're going to show them they're wrong. And when they respond, when they pull forces from other positions to reinforce these sites, we'll hit them where they're weak. Death by 1,000 cuts, one of Alina's soldiers murmured. Exactly. Arya met Alina's gaze. But we need your help, your knowledge, your people. Alone, neither of us can win this. Together... She let the words hang. Alina was quiet for a long moment. Then she extended her hand. The Earthbound have been waiting 800 years for reinforcements. Welcome home, Commander. The plan moved with surgical precision. 3 days later, at the exact moment Earth's sun rose over the Pacific, humanity struck. Captain Reyes led 200 Earthbound fighters through maintenance tunnels into the Velcor processing center in the Amazon. They emerged like phantoms. Electromagnetic pulse weapons disabling security grids, shaped charges collapsing support structures. The facility didn't explode, it simply stopped working, its automated systems dying as humans vanished back into the ruins. Simultaneously, the Cradle's Echo and 4 other ships decloaked over the Sahara launch field. Railgun strikes, precisely targeted, destroyed 37 docked Velcor transports in 18 seconds. Before defensive systems could respond, the fleet vanished back into stealth, leaving burning wreckage and confusion. In the Himalayas, a team led by Lieutenant Kale infiltrated the 3rd target, a Velcor command station carved into the mountainside. They didn't sabotage it, they infected it. A virus created from 8 centuries of human innovation, designed to feed false data back through the Velcor network, to turn their own surveillance systems into liars. By the time the sun set, the Velcor Dominion knew 3 things. Humans had returned, they could strike anywhere, and they were no longer prey. Back on the Cradle's Echo, Arya watched the tactical display as Velcor fleets scrambled, pulling resources from secondary positions, reinforcing locations that weren't actually threatened. The infection in their systems was spreading like wildfire through dry brush. We hurt them, Kale reported. Minimal casualties on our side. But Commander, they'll adapt. They'll... Let them, Arya interrupted. Every moment they spend adapting to our tactics, we evolve new ones. Every resource they commit to defense is one less they can use for offense. We're not trying to win this war in a day, Lieutenant. We're trying to make them bleed. She pulled up a map of Earth, its surface marked with red zones indicating Velcor control. We're going to take back our world one cut at a time, one strike, one act of defiance, until they realize occupying Earth isn't worth the cost. Alina's voice came through the comm, encrypted and resolute.
Earthbound forces are ready for Phase 2, Commander. Where do we hit them next? Arya smiled, cold and determined. Everywhere. Across Earth, in hidden bunkers and refugee camps, in the bellies of stealth ships and underground cities, millions of humans prepared for a war unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. A war not of conquest, but of reclamation. And in the void above the planet, 17 scarred ships kept watch. Ghosts returned to haunt the living, carrying 8 centuries of exile, loss, and the unbreakable human refusal to surrender home. The Velcor Dominion would learn what generations of desperate survival could forge. They would learn that humanity didn't need the biggest fleet or the strongest weapons. They just needed to be more stubborn than any empire in the galaxy. And on that front, no species had ever matched them.